That's so funny. One topic that I was also thinking about that I want to get you guys' perspective on is basketball. Currently, right now, is on a downslide. Like I guess it's like down 53% viewership or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, can you source
I
that?
have a lot of thoughts about this.
Really?
I can. No, but the whole thing is like people are mad about like there's no parity in basketball. Everybody's shooting threes, and
It's boring.
my take on that, and it's boring. Like so, my take on that is basketball is broken. It's like a broken game, and it's been broken for a while. Mm-hmm. And like I understand it. We've known it's been broken.
Wait, define broken. This is like
a video
very
game.
rich.
Like a video game,
topic.
right? Like imagine there's a weapon in like Fortnite that's just so good that everybody's
okay.
just going to use it.
Okay.
So, and you can't and the analytics are here to stay and they're accurate.
Okay.
And so the only thing you can do is change the rules, right? So if you want to get parity, you want to get these like athletic feats, my take is I think you should make dunking worth 3 points.
That's far out. What is
Or
parity?
push the 3-point line further back.
Or push the 3-point line.
Well, there's
further
ways.
back.
There's ways. What he's saying is there's ways of like
ways to-
leveling it out because of right now
It's broken.
the
You gotta
3-point
nerf
line.
the 3-pointer.
Everybody is practicing it so much that everybody
So what's the
can
problem
shoot.
with what's the problem?
They're only
currently?
shooting
Like,
threes.
yeah, it's the most efficient shot. Like so,
People
now
just shoot threes.
everybody's now every player is the same player. Does that make sense? So before there would be
Yeah.
like a bunch of different style players. Like
Yeah.
people want to see like the Kenyon Martins and the Shaquille O'Neals. Those
Okay,
guys
yeah,
don't
yeah.
exist
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Your Taco Fall, your boy.
Interesting.
Oh,
so
yeah.
the best thing is to just like get an open three, just shoot it,
Yeah.
or just like find a three.
Whoever shoots more threes wins the
It's gonna
game like
win. Whoever-
63% more of the time.
Is
Something
that
like that.
Is that
yeah.
it? Is it really
It's broken.
It's very
Whoa.
high. Yeah.
So if you're a coach, you're like, let's just get good at threes and shoot as many threes as possible.
Yeah, that's
Set
what
up-
everybody does. Yeah.
Okay, but like if
Yep.
that's what it takes.
But it's not fun for
If that's
people
the
to
natural
watch.
evolution of basketball.
Right.
Yeah.
But people don't like watching that.
Okay.
No, they don't like watching that. And I think on top of that, players are more skilled than they've ever been.
Yeah.
And there's more creativity to the skill movement and kind of bending the rules from either a foul, drawing fouls,
yeah.
or from like the traveling standpoint, which is partly my fault.
Yeah.
And what I've been interested in. But if you think about the average person watching a game of basketball, they're not so in tune with the game that they understand all of that.
Yeah.
And so it just
Yeah.
looks
Yeah,
wild.
yeah,
to
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
Like that used to be traveling, I think.
Yeah.
Or that
Yeah.
should be traveling. Or that
Yeah.
shouldn't be a foul.
Yeah.
Or that's soft.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not like they don't understand all the little technicalities and nuances of the game because
Yeah.
they're not studying. They're at work and they come
Yeah,
over to watch
yeah,
the
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Yeah.
So on top of that, they're like,
Yeah.
I don't. And so
Yeah.
to them, it's confusing. Like all you do is shoot threes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Travel,
It's a bunch of fouls.
and reach for
Yeah.
fouls,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you get it, and you go to the free throw line. It's
Yeah.
just
Damn.
angering for anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So that's what it's kind of. That's what it's become.
it's become.
Well,
Really?
I don't think you can nerf threes, but I think you can buff.
So is that?
Finishing.
Are we agreeing
Mm.
that's the best way? If you want to win a game, that's the best way to play
yeah.
basketball.
Oh, that's
It's-
that's what the
there's no
analytics
other
are saying.
really?
Then,
Yeah.
so then, of course, the coaches and players, they want to get paid. They want to not get fired. They want to make it
Yeah.
from the G League up. They're going to all continue to do that.
Yeah.
It's the game. It's the nature of the game. They find with analytics,
That's
they found
so
out how to
interesting.
break the game.
Wow.
Popovich said this a few years ago. He's like, it's not even fun anymore. It's like, it's just different, you know?
Yeah.
And like, you just play that style of play, and whether or not you like it or not, people don't find it as enjoyable to watch. Like there used to be like the Grizzlies had their style, the Kings had their
Yeah, yeah,
style,
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
the Spurs had their style,
Yeah.
and it was fun to watch them clash.
Yeah.
Now they're all the same.
Really?
Which is how
Yeah.
it's just like in baseball.
I can
when,
see that.
when analytics took over.
Yeah.
Like there used to be different batting stances, and now all the batting stances are the same. They go in and they change their swings
Well,
because
interesting.
why wouldn't you if it's the most efficient way?
Yeah, that's true. And that's why on top of that, that's why teams are getting blown out by more. Because if everybody's jacking up threes,
Yeah.
one team's off and the other
Yeah,
team
yeah.
isn't. The Warriors just got beat by like 50-something
Really?
by the Grizzlies.
Oh damn.
Because the Grizzlies hit like a record threes.
Yeah.
And they're more athletic, so they're getting people either to the basket or they're creating shots in the corners, which the corners are lights out for. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean it doesn't matter if you're the worst player in the NBA, they're lights out for every
Yeah.
player because they're
Yeah.
just spamming them.
Yeah.
And if you have a team that's a little bit more athletic and
Yeah,
can
yeah.
get to the basket,
Yeah.
all those shots are going to open up. So you're either dunking on somebody or you're getting a corner three.
I just feel like you can't change the rules, right? Is that the answer? Like changing the rules?
I
'Cause-
mean,
It's been a long time since they really
yes.
did something massive like at a 3-point
Yes.
line or
yeah.
They're
yeah.
thinking of adding a 4-point
Yeah.
line, but that's going to really, I think,
That would make it worse.
That'd backfire.
yeah.
Yeah, that you
Yeah,
get
that'd be
2
weird.
possessions worth of points.
Yeah.
Steph Curry already shoots those,
Yeah.
at
I
like
think-
60% clips, something like that.
But if people want to see dunks, they want to see more aggression, they want to see people attacking the basket, I think you got to incentivize dunking.
Interesting. Incentivized dunking.
That's really interesting.
That
Yeah.
is- that's-
It's similar to like sometimes when we play ones, like I can cook a lot of people if we're playing ones and twos.
Yeah.
Because I can just shoot threes over you or find a way to get a 3-point shot off
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and
smart.
make it more often.
That's CLA right there.
But
too.
Whoa.
Yeah.
if we switch it to all ones, I don't win as often.
That's fascinating. Actually, a little side note. There was like 10 years ago, we were playing pickup basketball, and you actually brought that point up. Like, why would you shoot a 1 when you
Yeah.
could shoot a 2? It's worth twice
Yeah.
as much.
Yeah.
It makes no
Normally,
sense.
It's only like whatever.
Yeah.
Even if you're missing, you
Yeah.
just end up catching up and
Exactly.
winning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
The
Interesting.
value of the possession.
But like,
higher.
so in your example of like dunking, like being worth 3 points, there's like some kind of like logical conclusion to that as well. Just like
yeah.
8-footers fucking under the rim.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
You wanna get
It
those
would
back.
change the
Yeah.
dynamic of the team. Yeah.
yeah.
For
yeah.
every generational talent it's been, the analytics adjust to that talent, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I think if Shaq or Wilt Chamberlain or Kareem were playing today, things would skew towards that because they'd be shooting at a very high, like an unreal high percentage right now.
Right.
But I think that I forgot what I was going with that. Oh yeah. But so if you do change that, then the players that people are going to be drafting are going to be people who can catch lobs. Like a guy like JaVale McGee in his prime would be like a very valued player in analytics.
Grab rebounds and kick it back out to the 3-point line
Yeah.
or catch lobs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people. I mean, I think people want to see physicality. They want to see
Yeah.
like, it's just what their preference is. And for me, that's I don't care. I like that style of play. Now.
You like the one that's you having now? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the one I use, so I can
Right.
relate to it, and I'm
Yeah,
like, oh,
same.
that's what I could do, and it translate out to my players this
But
way.
it's like MMA, like wrestling becoming. Everyone just
Yes.
wrestles, you know.
Right, that's
now.
what-
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the best dudes now are just like Dagestanis, whatever. They're just wrestlers.
Yes.
Oh, really?
You know.
It
So
it makes more sense than like being a boxer.
it just
or-
makes the
It
most
makes the
sense
most
to be the
sense,
best
yeah.
at wrestling.
Hmm.
You know, maybe
the best base.
maybe
Oh,
15
interesting.
years. It's just like they're just wrestling.
But there's more.
Everyone's-
There's still going to be more parity because there's. At some point, it is going to be like everybody's going to be Taporia.
Yeah.
Everybody's just going to be perfect at everything.
Which makes it more interesting.
Yeah, which makes it more interesting.
becomes more skilled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're skilled at everything. They can neutralize everything, and yeah. Whereas back
So it
in
would
the
still
day,
be like fun to watch.
because we were talking about Crone Gracie. Not that this is an MMA podcast, but it's relevant because I think
Yeah.
about this for basketball. We talk about in video games, right? Like, I'm not a video game player or anything like that, but like there's the concept of the meta. Whatever is the
Yeah,
most
exactly.
common practice and like is considered the best tactics for a
Yeah.
given time.
Yeah.
Trends.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same in Call of Duty. Like if like everyone's doing the same shit,
Yeah.
it's not even fun. It's just like there's certain metas, and people are so good.
But then the meta becomes countering that.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Like, so let's say this is the best. Let's say wrestling is the best base
Mm-hmm.
for MMA. So then anti-wrestlers then now have to become the meta for.
Yeah.
They become the. So like everybody you're training, you're getting ready to fight these Russians over there. Like you're training anti-wrestling the entire time, and so that becomes the meta. And then
Gotcha.
once that's
you're saying.
neutralized, just like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was the meta like early on, and then everybody had to become a black belt so that you can neutralize that. Now it's almost.
But so there's no
outdated.
equivalent in basketball.
There is, yeah, there is. You know, it's like, oh, I need a big man, so I need a 7-foot guy who can foul Shaq 5 times and get him to the free throw line. Like that became a meta
Yeah.
for dealing with him.
right.
So you don't think there's like it's going to evolve into
It
something
could.
else?
I'm curious to see how it does, but I think the game is broken.
It is a bit. It's so interesting too because with Jokic becoming the best player in the league
Yeah.
at a certain time, it almost like because it became that way, it like shortened his era. And it's, I mean, they're still good, and
Yeah.
he's still probably the best player in the league.
Yeah.
Because of the way he's playing, but it's interesting to me because it felt like the league was going to start to get bigger.
Yeah.
Like all the guards were, and they, I mean, you can say in a sense,
Yeah.
but it slowed it down, at least in my
Yeah.
opinion, because more people are shooting threes, like he's saying, it's broken.
Yeah.
It would have been where like people are looking for a Jokic
Yeah.
per se, you know,
Right.
Why doesn't that happen though?
Like,
It
because
feels like
of
that
the way
should
it
happen.
is.
Like they're just a bunch of Jokic type players running around.
I
You
mean,
know?
it's just like there should be another Shaq then with that logic.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
Or,
And people will look for it, but
Yeah.
you're like,
Okay.
can you
Okay.
find that?
Okay.
Are
I
you
guess
going
that
to
makes
find
sense.
a generational talent? That's why.
Yeah.
That's kind of the point I was trying to make earlier. But given all that, in our area, then knowing the game is broken, objectively. Why are people still running stuff from 2008?
It's so good.
It's crazy.
So-
And this is what bothers me. If you're a coach and you expect your players to go in the off season and get better and like learn new things, why are you coming back with the exact same game plans you've been running for?
Yeah.
Anything beyond 3 years at this point now is outdated because there's been a renaissance in analytics and in basketball.
So do you guys like train that then? Like why not like take advantage of the meta? Just like threes, you know, like
Oh yeah, that's what we do.
That's
yeah.
all.
Well,
That's what
part
you
of
guys do.
training
big
that's
thing,
one of the things that's difficult about, especially at the higher levels, is like, well, I would say for anything is like you have in your minds, like especially with me and Daniel, like this advanced thinking.
Yeah.
Want to train a certain way, but with kids that you don't have control over with playing time, there's certain things that you need to give them in order to get them playing time.
Yeah.
Essentially where they're at. And so it's kind of this balance of like creativity with like, okay, we do need to like implement this even from a creative standpoint so that you're doing things that your coach wants so that you're getting playing time, but also we need you to evolve because basketball is evolving. I'm not going to sit in here and just do things. They're going to keep you stagnant outside of that system, if that makes sense.